Hi everyone, it's your girl Pretty, here to give you another scoop of tips and tricks on raising ASD children the best way we can. Now, the point of our videos is not to say that parents of autistic children need help parenting. No, no. If it's anything, we know that autism parents are everyday superheroes. They give their children all they have. Their sleep, their energy, their time, even their entire capacity. If it's anything, our YouTube channel aims to salute autism parents for every single thing that they do for their children. And of course, our channel aims to equip parents, caregivers, teachers, and professionals with the expert tips and tricks on handling and managing children diagnosed with ASD. Now, without wasting any more of your time, let us read the problem question that inspired today's video. Dear Pretty and team, my name is Beverly and I need some advice. I find it difficult to explain crucial topics to my son Sammy. I feel like he doesn't understand when I explain. Recently, he had such a difficult time when we moved from our old house to our current house. We had shown him pictures of the new house a few days before we moved, but that didn't prevent the days of tantrums that followed the move. What could I have done differently? Hi Beverly, and thank you so much for your question. Explaining something to your ASD child can be quite tricky. Sometimes it seems as if the information you're giving your child just goes over their head, or you just lose their attention quite quickly during the talk. Now parents, I want to ask you, do you ever feel nervous for an upcoming event, or perhaps a gathering with people you have never met before? I, for one, can definitely relate to those feelings of anxiety because I don't know what's going to happen when I get there. Now, this feeling can be intensified for our children with disabilities or sensory irregularities. Children with ASD often seem self-absorbed and seem to exist in a very private world where they are unable to communicate and interact with others successfully. Communicating with a child with ASD can be very tricky, but it's the most important thing that you can do to help that child learn. Now, the saying, "it's not what you say, it's how you say it," really does apply in this context. And so when we read your question, Beverly, we thought to ourselves, social stories. Social stories were created by Carol Gray in 1991. They are short descriptions of a particular situation, an event, or even an activity. Social stories include specific information about what to expect in that situation and why. A social story is basically an individualized short story that you can make yourself to explain a particular social skill to a child. The reason why social stories work like magic is that they break down a challenging social situation into steps. It helps the child to understand the rules and routines and to become more familiar with a situation. And if you use actual pictures in your story, it makes the information way more digestible for your kids who are unable to conceptualize an image when someone verbally explains something. Now, in today's video, we are going to make social stories together. So let's do this. So, everything we write in the story should show that this change will be good for everyone, including Sammy. Secondly, gather your information. That's your pictures that you will use in the story. Remember, actual pictures work way better than clip art. So a social story can just be as easy as editing and inserting pictures in a story, but you want to remember a few things. First, what is the goal of your social story? In this case, we want Sammy to understand and accept that we are moving into a new house. And also, keep your child's capacity in mind. You will know how long or short this story should be. And lastly, tailor your text. A social story needs to have a title, introduction, body, and conclusion, and should use patient and supportive language. Try to write the story with your child in mind. Use language and words that your child will understand and know. For this social story, we will pretend that Sammy understands the concept of moving, so we'll go ahead and fill it up with important details and information that he needs to know about the move. here we will pretend that Sammy does not have a massive attention span and will need simpler and more straightforward sentences. The beauty of a social story is that you can be as creative as you would like. You can even draw your own pictures. It really does not have to be something fancy. It just has to be understandable for your child. Quite easy, right? I know. In the next video, I will show you how to make a social story for kids who have serious obsessions or role models such as superheroes, famous people, or even cartoons. I know, I can't wait for this. Now, before I leave you, I have to remind you the 3 key factors of any successful implementation plan. It has to be child-specific and interest-based all the time. It has to be clear and very concise in terms of instructions and executions. And thirdly, it has to be consistent. You need to do it constantly. Now, that said, goodbye for now, and I'll see you in part 2.